Hello, 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 and welcome on my working table. Today the video will be about making a fabric collage. And you perhaps wonder, oh, she made one a couple of weeks ago. Yes, I did, and there will be another one in a couple of weeks again, because as you maybe know, I just got a big box of a lot of gorgeous fabrics my friend Tina has printed and made other kinds of ways. And every time I get a bag or a box from her with all these leftovers, I have a party and I feel so much like making these collages. So that is what I will be doing today. If you really like this way of working and like to see other of these fabric collages, I will put a link to the playlist below, and you can find videos of all the other ones I have made. And just a little beep beep, they are for sale, but I will say a little more about it at the end of this video also. But I hope you will enjoy what I will do here today in this video. And for those of you who are new here, my name is Lisbeth. I'm Danish, so pardon my bumpy English, but hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm a mixed media artist who likes very much to teach, and I really like doing many different things, from slow stitching, jelly printing, making books, journaling, yeah, you name it. And there are playlists for all the different things, so look at what interests you and skip all the other things. But let us see what I can come up with today. I have no idea, and probably you don't have either, but we will see. This is the materials I have picked from my own stash and from the box I got from her. And all that started this was this piece here, because I really like this piece, and I really like this end of the piece, and yeah, I also like this one, but that can perhaps end up in another collage. But this is the main reason this collage will end up in this color scheme. And yeah, those of you who know me, I very much like to work with the same colors in all kinds of tones and tints and what they are called, shades. I don't go red, black, white, yellow and everything in one collage. And mainly because they are only 20 by 20 centimeters. But this is what started me to pick the other materials. And here I also have this strip, and this is a commercial board fabric, this one here, and this is too a commercial board fabric. I have so many, not a big amount of each piece of fabric, because sometimes I get, yeah, you know, I can't live without this and that, and then I buy 25 centimeters. That is the smallest amount you can buy, or a fat quarter if you're going the quilt way. But so I have a little of everything here, and this is from Tina, and don't ask me how she did it. I know she's working with ice dyeing and starched screen printing and much other things for making colors and prints and patterns on her paper. I don't know where this comes from. It looks like it has been something to wear since the curvy lines are there. This is also a piece from her, another kind of fabric. And this here also is a snip. I don't think I will use this, because here in broad daylight I think it doesn't look very, it's not the right colors in my opinion. And there I have some strips of different things. I don't know what this is. It's like a harmonica. You can And this is a selvage from a piece of fabric of my own. And then there's this fluffy things. I think it is something, it is, of course it is colored, but because the natural color is perhaps cream or off-white. I don't know if it is something from a tree or what it is, but you can manipulate with it. And I have some bits and bobs of it, so you can go this and this and this. So I think that perhaps will be the focal point in my piece. And if I will put something on that, I don't know yet. We will see. But that is the materials I have here to work with. And I think it is nice not to have more than this, because then you don't get confused and what to choose. And sometimes it's good to have a smaller amount of things to choose between, because it can be quite overwhelming to have too many things to choose between, especially if you're new to this. So let us see. Yeah, and of course, sorry for my arm, I have taken some different threads from my mercerized cotton, and I will see what colors I will use. I just took them out of the box. But let us start here with the piece here. And I know I want a big strip of this, and I think I want it up here. And I will just get my scissors for cutting fabric. There. And sorry for the noise, but I like the noise of tearing fabric. So away with that, and it can end up in another piece. Yeah, I can also tell you a little about the substrate. It is, as I said, 20 by 20 centimeters, and I think it is about 8 by 8 inch approximately is the same as 20 by 20 centimeters. If you're going into millimeters, it's not exactly the same, but nearly the same. So I want this piece here, this way or that way, I haven't decided yet. And then I have this piece here. It's what I call a really sour greenish yellowish thing. And of course I don't want the holes here from the selvage in, so I will have to push it. Yeah, perhaps it is easier if I cut it off, then I better can see here. And right now I'm just playing to see if I can come up with something nice there. And then I have this piece. Yeah, I don't know if I like the rusty color there. Then I have this piece here. Going over and under and over and under. This could work. Away with that one, and what to put there. If I do this, I'm going the dark way, and I think I want to go with the lighter way. So try to this here. You can see I have already said I don't like this one, and I can see that is right. I don't like this piece here with these other fabrics and that color, so away with that also. And then there isn't so much other than this one here, and perhaps that is okay. Here, we see there. Yeah, I like that one better. And then I have this here. Oh yeah, now we're talking. I know it's dark, but I like this green thin lines to all the other green things there. And yeah, I should cut this clean if I will use that. There. I also have this one, but that's too much. And if I go with this, that is too dark, so away with this. And then I have this really, I can feel it in my teeth, and I don't know what it's called, but when you have hole in your teeth, they put plastic, or in the old days it was silver they put in. They are singing these things with this color here, but it is nice. But I don't think I can. Let's see if I can tear a straight one. Yeah, that wasn't so easy. But perhaps we could put a small piece of it here. Let me see here. I can rip this. Yeah, it isn't so easy to rip this. It ends up like, yeah, I don't know what. Is it better this way? No. Let me see here. I really like the torn edges, so I will tear them here. Yeah, but there's a white thing there I don't like very much. So perhaps we can go like this. So this goes up here. Yeah, I think I like that. You can see I'm just playing and trying to figure out what I like and what I don't like. So that I like, but then again, this color drowns in this color. So if I end up doing it like this, I will have to figure something out for a focal point there. And that can be that because you can't see it. So I will go in my boxes and bins and see if I can find some little crazy thing I can put there, because I like the way this looks. So I will just let it be, and I will go and see if I can find something. This is my box with all kinds of strange things in, and I will pick some things up I think perhaps could look nice. As far as I remember, I have some, I don't know what they are called in English, but when you're fishing, you have some shiny things on the end of the line, so the fish will catch. There, yeah, that's the wrong color. I know there is a green one down there somewhere. Yeah, you don't need to see me running through all this strange stuff, but And there also was this one. I will rumble a little more around and see if I can find that fish I'm talking about. I think this piece here is the same as this stuff here. It's just been dyed green, so it's like mulberry stuff or something. But I really have some strange things in here, but I save all small bits and bobs. There are beads and felt balls and sealing rings and seed pots and yeah, all kinds of strange things. You never know when you just is going to need such a small thing here. But I found these pieces here. I have this. This is from the time when I was felting it. That could look nice, but this was, oops, boops, boops, boops. This was the fish I was talking about, and I really like the color of that there. There also is this one you could put if you're playing golf, but I think I like this fish much better. There's some old glue on it. I think, I don't know what I have tried to use it for before, but I think it could sit there. There are some eyes here, or small things I can sew it on. So yeah, boop, boop, boop. I don't know why, but I like it best here in the line. But perhaps you don't see it as much, but I think it looks strange up there and there. I really like it where all the things are meeting each other, and all the different fabrics are meeting each other. So I will go for this look. I will find some machine sewing cotton thread, the thinnest one I have, and then I will invisible baste all the patches here on, and I will show you shortly how to do it, but I will do it out of camera because you have seen me invisible baste so many times, so you don't need to see me do that. Look here, I found a piece of Tyvek also in my bin here, or my box, and I think that is better because then you can see the fish even more. So that would be that. The nice thing about sewing on this felt substrate is that you can see and they aren't moving very much around, but if you want to, you can always take your glue stick, and it is not because you are going to glue your fabric down, because that's not the meaning, but just to secure it. And here I can cut some of it off. Also, I don't want this. And that is even too small for me, so it will go in my trash bin. And here, just there. And this is this bigger piece. I will save that. So I will also just dab it there and there. I normally don't do that, but you can do it if you want to. There and there. So now this is secured, and then there's this big piece. So I can also give this a little glue. And I can see the selvage, there are holes up there, but I don't think you see them very much. But I know this has to cover. So there. No, it was the other way around, I think. Was it? you, I can't remember now, and I won't go back looking at the video. But since this is going up here, I think this is, yeah, it will be like this. So I have just taken some machine sewing thread, and the only thing I'm doing is, I think I can get away with using the same color all the way around. Sometimes if I have a very dark and a very light color, as the same color but in high and low value, I have to change thread because I like this to be so invisible as possible. But the only thing I do is I just come up, I can feel the edge of the felt here on the back with my finger, and I come up and I go down a couple of threads back and come up about a centimeter ahead. And I have a really long thread here, and as we say in Danish, a lazy tailor's thread. I think you say lazy girl's thread in English, but it's the same. And the smaller you can make this stitch, this back stitch here, the less you can see the tiny little thing here. But I will do this all the way around and be back. So I have been all the way around, and I will just bury my thread here in the back. That is all I will do. Cut that off, and then you can see that my fabric isn't running anywhere. And of course I could have basted there and basted there and basted there, but it would be a waste of work because I am going to put something over it, so it isn't necessary. So this is the piece I want to do something with now. So I can just give it a dab and a dab. And let it sit there. And in the hindsight, I should perhaps have ironed this fabric or all the fabrics, but I think as soon as I start stitching, it would end up nice. Me and my iron isn't the best of friends, but yeah. You can also see I have some overhangs here, and the last thing I will do when the whole collage is finished, that is to cut the edges clean. Okay, so now I will decide what kind of color thread I will use and what I will stitch here. These were the threads I have picked for this piece here, and you can see now this one could perhaps work, but these two I really don't like. This one could perhaps work too, because there's a lot of different greens and a little blue and so on it. So I've been in my box again, and I found these not pieces, but these threads instead. I don't know so much about this one, but these I think could work. So I have taken this heavier thread here, and I will make a row of straight stitches here, and I can just put that there until I've started. And the way I do it is I want them not enormous big, but quite big. And away with all the things my thread can hang into. Yeah. Come up, and then I go down in the strip there. I come up again. And I go down. Yeah, I can remove that one. Some of you perhaps will prefer to do it differently, but the look will be the same, but you will save a little of your thread if you come up here instead and go down, and come up here and go down. Here on my back there will be some straight stitches in a little, yeah, a little diagonal. If you do it the other way, you will only have some small marks at the back. But somehow I have sewn this way so many times, so I find it easier. And especially when I'm stitching in paper, or in several layers, I like to go down where there are several layers and only come up when there's one layer. I think that is easier. And I don't mind they are a little wonky or not totally in the same height. That just give a nicer look, I think. Yeah, you can see there. So I will continue all the way down here to the end of this strip. So I've done out with all the stitching there, and you can see it goes a little diagonal, and that is on purpose because very often I go straight. So I've thought about trying to make it a little more not so grid way this time. So now I want to put this piece here, and again I will just give it a dab with my glue stick and put it over. Yeah. There, I think that is fine. And then I will do some cross stitches over it, and I have taken this thread here so we can see how that looks. So I will come up, go, I will make them quite big, so it is like, yeah, you can say couching them, the strip down here with cross stitches, some big wonky ones. Whoops, that wasn't there. Down here. They come up nearly in the same place, but not the exact same place. Go down here. Come up here. And so on. But you probably all know how to sew cross stitches. So come up here. There and there, and I will continue that all the way down there. So this is sewed down, and I have also basted this piece down, and I have basted these two overlaps down. So now everything is secured. You can see it is sitting there, and I have taken some threads in my needle, or a thread in my needle that matches this color here. So this one here, and I will place that here. And this is a piece of Tyvek, and I can put a link to a video on how you can manipulate Tyvek. You can paint on it before or after. I show different ways of you can do that. So I will link that below in the little, under the little word more, or in the description box. So I will just put my thumb on it and come up some places and go up and down in the holes. And this is not thicker than I can also stitch where there isn't any holes. But right now I will just secure it. And that is all I will do here, so invisible as possible. It can be a little tricky to hit there. And there isn't any hole nearby, so I just go through the Tyvek and stitch it down. So I will do that so it is secured there. Whoops, sorry, I'm shaking you. So the Tyvek is sewn down, and I have just sewn this little eye down here, and it lies so nice in the Tyvek this way, and since this is going this way, I think it looks great that it's going that way instead of of this way. So sometimes you're lucky, things goes for you a way you haven't thought of, but it ended up, ouch, and there was my finger down under here, so now it's sitting there. Okay, so I will sew this on. It is just going up and down in the eye here, and then I will decide if I would do something more about this. I've just made some few cross stitches also here in the white, and I think I want to make some, like, yeah, it's a fish, they make bubbles perhaps, and so I think I will make some French knots here in this area here. And I have taken this color thread here, so I think they will be visible. So the way I do French knots, I take my thumb and my index finger and had the thread between, and then I wrap my needle around. No, I wrap my thread around the needle, and you can do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you go down in nearly the same hole, and I keep the tension here on this thread, and then you pull the thread through here. And right now I'm using a chenille needle, and that isn't the best thing to do when you make French knots, because it is thicker there than the rest of the needle is, so it is better to use a milliner's needle. But I can do it with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep the tension and go down nearly in the same hole. Yeah, and slowly pull your thread through. If you go too fast, you can sometimes get knots on your thread, and that isn't so nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep the tension. Go down nearly in the same hole, and carefully pull through. So I will sew a lot of them here and here, and then I will show it to you. So done with all the French knots here, and I think they look like bubbles, and I can see I still miss just to base that down, that little strip there, but I can take care of that. But now I will just flip it over, and then I will cut the edges clean. You can of course also take your rotary cutter if you have such a tool and cut it clean with that. That is up to you. Which way you prefer. Don't cut into the felt. Sometimes you need to go over it twice. And there are all these small bits hanging on my table here, but I can take care of that later. So here it is, my fish. And I really like it. I like the colors a lot. But you could say now I have this flimsy piece here, and what to do with it. Yeah, if you like it so much that you would hang it on the wall, you can take a stretch canvas and glue it down. Use some glue or medium that are thick so it doesn't seep through the fabric. You can paint your edges here in the color that you think look nice. The same thing you can do on a cradle board like this, and you can get even deeper cradle boards than this one here, and the same, glue it on, paint the sides if you want to do that. And of course you can also just buy a frame with glass in and put it in there. You would, a little of the sides would disappear into that, and of course you can leave the glass out. I think glass and textile don't belong together, but that is my opinion. And I have some crazy questions sometimes. So how do you clean it? Yeah, I don't clean it. I just blow on it sometimes, and or do something like this, and the dust will go off. And of course I won't hang it in direct sun, because nothing other than acrylic paint and oil paint can stand hanging in direct sun in the long run. But these are the options I would choose. If I was to hang this on my wall, I would just buy a canvas and glue it on. I think it looks nice. It comes a little out of the wall. So this was this week's fabric collage. And as I said in the beginning of the video, I nearly whispered because I really hate to talk about this. Most of the things I'm doing are for sale, but I very seldom mention it. But I have I think I have seven or eight others, and I would put a little video of them also in here, and they are all for sale. So if somebody is interested in buying one of my fabric collages, take a screen dump and send me a message, and we could find something out of something. And they aren't very expensive. I will say it isn't thousands of dollars. They will cost. It's really a bargain here. But look at them and message me if there's something you're interested in. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, and perhaps you have learned some tips and tricks by looking at what I'm doing and want to give it a try yourself. Perhaps you have a lot of scrap fabrics or leftovers you can try. But if you're not and you are interested in my things, you could just send me a message and I will reply. But else I would just say, if you have liked this video or my channel, please give my video and my channel a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing my little Danish channel. That would be unbelievable helpful of you, and I would appreciate it a lot. And else I will only say, be creative and take care, and most of all, please be nice to each other, and see you soon again. Bye bye, farvel, auf Wiedersehen, adieu, so long.